We are facing a lot of challenges in terms of fraud attempts, the technology movement, and also during this downside of the economic, I think the number of the fraud attempts and also the modus, the type of the fraud itself is becoming more and more.
Have you seen the behavior of a consumer changing the way they expect from a bank in terms of loan?
At PermataBank, we are always committed to review ourselves, have a periodic review, and also committed to do the continuous improvement. Infrastructure is one of the things the banking industry in Indonesia is always pushed into more broader financial inclusion. We are also committed to do that.
Orthogonal question on this is how much of the change in consumer behavior has put a stress on your portfolios? How that your collection challenges are coming in, how that the non-performing assets have been growing because of the change in consumer behavior, or are they even growing?
If the financial industry cannot adapt to this kind of challenge.
Okay. While the challenges of collections could be the transformation has happened, etc., in the last 1 decade, more so after COVID. If you look at some of the emerging technologies that have been coming in terms of a generative AI, how do you see a financial institution embracing it to make theirs and customers' life better with it and also accelerate their entire overall digitization program? How do you see the bank like yours adopting to it?
So actually
Hello, Harry.
Hello,
Thank you for
Vinay.
joining us on a podcast.
My pleasure.
Lovely to have you here.
Same likewise.
Before we start, if you could spend some time on introducing yourself, that'll be really helpful.
Oh, thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Haryanto. I'm responsible for consumer lending business and SME in PermataBank. And we are aiming to give the best services. We are have motto that we are working with our heart, so that in order for our customers and our colleague to make it like a family, big family, and have a long relationship with the bank. So that's our ultimate goals in doing the business. Right?
Fantastic. Now that you mentioned consumer lending,
Consumer
that's
lending.
a very fast evolving thing that's been happening for the last decade and more so post-COVID.
That's correct.
How do you see the consumer lending in Indonesia has evolved in the last 1 decade?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, in terms of the complexity, I look at the consumer lending business. If we compare to the last 10 years ago or 5 years ago, the complexity is going so much different, We are facing a lot of challenges in terms of fraud attempts, the technology movement, and also during this downside of the economic, I think the number of the fraud attempts and also the modus, the type of the fraud itself is becoming more and more complex. And also in terms of the product that we need to serve to the customers, I think the evolvement of the products is also required us to continuous improvement. And also how to give the best services to the customers is the one point that the bank should keep up. Because, every day there is new technology, there is a new way to do things, and we need to learn a lot every day, every period in order for us to keep into the technology and also to the services. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But have you seen the behavior of a consumer changing the way they expect from a bank in terms of loan, how quickly they want the loan, and what is their experience that they want to treat from a bank?
Yes. Especially if we compare the period before and after COVID, we saw that the movement of the customers and adaptation to the technology is moving very fast. And we see also the transition between the offline to the online business is also moving very fast. That's why we also look at the number of the transaction and also the ticket size of the transaction is getting more retail, getting more to the consumer scale, and therefore required adaptation also from the bank side for the infrastructure, for the system, and also to the monitoring phase also.
Fantastic. And this is something that the bank is evolving to the changes by leveraging technology, by understanding consumer behavior and continuously improving. How does a large bank like yours look at that?
Oh, that's a must, I think. At PermataBank, we are always committed to review ourselves, have a periodic review, and also committed to do the continuous improvement. infrastructure is one of the things that we are always continue to look to. And also the distribution channel, how our e-channel and our mobile banking also requires to evolve and to adapt with the new services is also becoming a critical phase for our bank. Yeah.
Fantastic. As a growing economy and an aspiring economy and a fairly young economy, Indonesia, how do you rate and the challenges and the opportunities of a consumer lending for a large bank like yours compared to other geographies, or if you want to draw some parallels to it?
The key is, I think, the financial inclusion. If the financial inclusion and the number of these people that can adapt more to the technology and can adapt more to the banking environment, that will create the new improvement economy. And I think we are going to the right way because the banking industry in Indonesia is always pushed into more broader financial inclusion. We are also committed to do that. And we are also have aspiration to have a larger number of our services and customer every year to support the financial inclusion. Yeah.
Great. Now, one of the things that I see when I talk to multiple banks is now almost every bank is digital bank now in whatever form and shape that they are in. If you were to differentiate with other banks largely from a consumer value addition, consumer velocity, better collections of your system, fraud prevention, how would you go about differentiating it?
Okay. There are always several methods if the bank would like to do the digitalization or adapting to the new technology or doing things. The first is the bank can always have the option to do by themselves or have to find the right partners. I think both are no right or wrongs. And if the bank can do by themselves, is always good. But if the bank can also find the right partners, it's always good also. That's two of the options that the bank can consider. And for me, I feel that finding the right partners is also critical because I believe that the partnership, meaning win-win solution, and also have the, for example, some benefit, quick implementation, can be faster to adapt to the new environment as long as there is a right partner within both the bank and the third party. Yeah.
Great. And a little orthogonal question on this is how much of the change in consumer behavior has put a stress on your portfolios? How that your collection challenges are coming in, how that the non-performing assets have been growing because of the change in consumer behavior, or are they even growing?
Okay. If I may to predict for a longer term, yeah, I believe in the next 5 or 10 years, the situation will be very different and need a faster pace for banking industry to adapt. For example, if we are facing defect right now, the level of defect that we are facing today is even different than 1 year ago. So we need to imagine these challenges in the next 5 or 10 years. Everybody can now changing the voices, how the person looks. And if the financial industry cannot adapt to this kind of challenges, it will be very difficult in the next 5 or 10 years. In the other side, the collection is also need to adapt, how to predict more faster for the customer to delinquent, which kind of customer segment that the bank needs to monitor diligently, how to pinpoint every single signal, what to do in terms of the collection action plan. I think if the financial industry or any bank do it manually, it will be very challenging also. So this is something that the bank or any financial industry need to look very carefully in the next 5 or 10 years.
Okay. While the challenges of collections could be an economic issue as well as improper underwriting also. So how do you, a forward-looking digitally adaptive bank like yours, how do you look at that as a problem statement that how can I prevent underwriting if I foresee that in future it could be a potential collection problem?
Yeah. The key is, I think, in the longer term, we need to minimize any manual job that any collection or any person in the collection to do. And to link between the customer behavior and the financial industry, I think the key is to have the right partner. And the right partner is also need to adapt to the new environment. So we need to imagine these challenges in the next 5 or 10 years. and how to automate that customer behavior and translating that into the AI can be helpful. And it will minimize any job load, any manual mode, any capacity will also bring efficiency to the collection team, and that will generate more productivity. Yeah.
Fantastic. So we got a view of where do we stand till now, how the transformation has happened, etc. in the last one decade, more so after COVID. If you look at some of the emerging technologies that have been coming in terms of a generative AI and better learning models and the likes of Chat GPT, OpenAI, etc. coming in, how do you see a financial institution embracing it to make theirs and customers' life better, comply with it, and also accelerate their entire overall digitization program? How do you see the bank like yours adopting to it?
So actually, the key is not making every process an AI or automated process, but how the bank define the priority, which field need to be digitalized or being translated into the AI is the key for the financial institution or the bank to succeed. I think that's becoming critical in the next 5 or 10 years. Yeah.
Fantastic. So you have a prioritization for where to use an AI.
Yes,
and when. This is fantastic conversing with you.
Thank you.
I look forward to see your bank succeeding in a lot of technology initiatives that you're anyway pioneered with, and look forward to how the bank embraces the AI in future.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure talking to you.